Today's episode is a gift you will want to give to yourself. It's not just a podcast, it's your guide to creating a life that feels intentional, grounded, and uniquely yours. If you have ever felt stuck in the cycle of stress, overwhelmed by external pressures, or like life is slipping by without meaning, this is your chance to reset and realign for 2025. Here is why you should take this time and listen to this episode. You will learn how to take control of stress so it no longer dominates your energy or decisions. Discover simple rituals to ground yourself every day and start living with clarity and focus. Understand how to reclaim your time and energy by intentionally choosing where to place your attention and why this can completely transform your life. Find practical tools for reconnecting with yourself so you're not just doing life, but being in it. By the end of this episode, you will have actionable steps to stop stress from controlling your life. Make every day count with purpose and intention, and begin 2025 with a clear vision of how to stay connected to your true self, no matter what life throws at you. If you are ready to move beyond the chaos and into a year of calm and focus and authenticity, this episode will give you everything you need to start strong. So take a moment for yourself because you deserve it. Let's step into 2025 with the tools, clarity, and energy to truly live from within. I hope you enjoy it. Hello, everyone. Hello from Bali. Welcome to the first episode of 2025 of your Soul's Therapist podcast. Of course, to set the tone and to set the energy of the year, I have been reflecting a lot and trying to really read the energy and really see what is so necessary right now for all of us. And I came up with a theme and a focus and an anchor for myself. And what I will be offering to all of you this year is finding yourself. The theme of finding yourself and living from within. I have been reflecting for a couple weeks until now. I took a break after the last retreat that I guided in Bali at the end of the year. And I got so many insights and so many ideas about what is really we as humanity, as humans today really struggling with, what we need support on, and where we need to actually begin. And I know a lot of you have demanding full-time jobs, families and demanding full-time jobs. And of course, I'm sure you're trying your best to take care of yourself, to do something for your well-being. And one of those things is listening to this podcast, which I'm really very grateful for. But I have to say that we need to see the bigger picture and really understand that like small things might not do it for us. And we really need to rethink, reorganize, reorient our sense of self and sense of being in a very different way. Almost, I would say, rewire ourselves. Now, of course, after just listening to the episode, I'm not expecting you to just have this whole perspective shift and stop living from the outside of yourself and begin living from the inside of yourself, right? There is like a journey, there is like a path to come home to yourself, to anchor within yourself. And whatever step you're going to be taking, whatever decision you're going to be making, wherever life will be taking you this year, you will make sure that you are going to react, interact, and live your life from the inside, from the self, from within of you. That's why the topic of finding you, where is you, finding you, is so crucial. And this whole retreat that I was teaching at the end of the year was Soul Revival, was all about finding you. Where am I, in my system? And I understand that in so much noise, in so much distraction, in so much running around, in so much information we absorb and things we need to keep in mind and continue moving forward, and this never-ending desire to improve, get better, fix, etc., is really overwhelming. And most likely, at the end of the year, you just feel like, I don't know what happened. So my intention for this episode is just to make sure that we set the tone and that we set the energy. And at the end of this year, we will not sit down and think, what happened? What just happened? And start, understanding why we made those decisions, why we said those things, why we went to those places, why we engaged with these people. That's called unintentional living. It's like living in a fog, living in some sort of like a cloud where something is happening, but everything is a little bit blurred. Finding yourself and living from within is my wish to you. And as a guide, as a teacher, as a facilitator, I will make it my mission this year to make sure that my offerings to you will be anchored in the intention of living from within and finding yourself. Okay, so let's just take a moment and sense and feel the difference between living from within and living on the outside. Just a little pause here. I would love to invite you for the very special experience that is a highlight, truly highlight of January. I will teach a 2-session process on January 11th, Saturday. And you shouldn't miss it by any means. Wherever you are in the world, this will be a virtual experience that you can partake from your home. Or even if you cannot join, you can receive the recording and do it by recording. But I highly recommend to spend your attention and spend your energy on doing this work. 2025 is my inner detox holistic program that I create to help you unburden yourself from previous experiences that happened to you in the 2024, 2023. It is important to clear out the locked emotions, subconscious beliefs, feelings, those burdens that you might not even be aware of. And in my experience, it is absolutely useless to set new goals and create new stuff without cleaning what is holding us back. I have been doing this work for myself and for my students and clients for many years, and I can see a tremendous difference. Whether you do this process, you consciously step into the year, you clear out the old luggage, the old baggage, and then you really set yourself for grounded and conscious year ahead. You set your goals, but in a way that you will not be dragged back by old pain, old suffering, misery, sadness, and all that jazz. So I would love to have you there on 11th of January, Saturday with me. It's from 5 to 9 p.m. Hong Kong time. Book it on my website, and for my listeners, I offer 20% discount. And you can find the code on the show notes. It's called Inner Detox. You can apply this code on the shop and get 20% discount. You shouldn't miss it. It's really, really helpful to do this process just in the beginning of your new year. Looking forward to that. Now back to the show. So most of us, when we wake up in the morning, the first thing a lot of us do is take the phone and start scrolling, seeing the news, replying to messages, checking our mailbox, and so on and so forth. And that's the first thing that we do that takes us out of ourselves. Also, some of you may wake up and start thinking about another person, start thinking about the project, the job, the circumstances, the environment, your plans, your kids, whatever is on the plate for you. And it's like almost instantaneous. You're already on the outside. Your body's still in the bed, for example, but parts of you are all over the place, running around, figuring out, chasing, thinking, ruminating, obsessing, and so on and so forth. Okay, so that's the feeling when we just get out of ourselves, and parts of us just have to manage so many things, have to be present for so many things, have to engage in so many things. And always by the end of the day, you're like, what just happened? This was exhausting. This was overwhelming. Let me try to ground myself. And sometimes we ground ourselves through eating a lot. Sometimes we ground ourselves through having a drink, and doing this type of things. And then we fall asleep. And then we wake up the next morning and it starts again. The roller coaster takes us again on this journey. And day after day, year after year, day after day, and year after year. And I have to caution you, my friends, that it is concerning that years can pass fast. And we can just find ourselves, being 30, 40, 50, 60 years old and just looking back and not understanding what just happened, right? To me, that's quite concerning. And I am committed and dedicated to making sure that I will not live my life from the outside. And my mission is to make sure that those of you who want to live intentional lives, who want to live from within, who want to stay inside of yourself all day long, and from there manage everything, will not have this moment of what just happened. How did I waste this precious time, weeks and months and years of my life? And we are very, very close. We are almost walking on the razor, on the edge of falling into this abyss of cloud unconsciousness, and just being taken over. So let's go through a few steps which I would like us to anchor on this year. And those of you who are on the same page with me and do not wish to live in unconsciousness, that truly want to consciously choose and create relationship that you desire, career that you desire, your life, tailor it, paint it like a creator from within. If you are desiring what I'm offering you, let's just go through a few steps. The first step is understanding stress. Stress is something that really takes us out of ourselves, right? This is just our survival. This is how our nervous system works. When we get stressed, parts of us disconnect from us and they start going to those places where the stress is, right? Whether there is a deadline, whether you have an important event or an important meeting, or you put a pressure and expectation on yourself and you have to meet it. There is stress. Stress is the first thing that gets us out of the body and keeps us running until we just fall down and we just don't remember what just happened to us. So our relationship with everything that stresses us, whether intentionally stresses us or we just perceive it like as something really important and we put extra pressure on it, we put extra stress on it, we make something extremely important, right? And then it becomes a point of stress. Recognizing that it is up to us to decide how much importance we give to things, to people, how much importance. And just yesterday, I had a stressful situation. And I just felt, I was driving a car and I just felt so outside of myself. My parts were just there with a person just trying to figure something out. And then finally, you know, like the switch came in and it's like, wait, where am I? What's going on? And then I realized, oh, right, this situation and this person actually are not important for my long-term wellness. It's just not important. It's not that important for me to be outside of myself. So I recognized it. I took my energy back. I took away the importance from this experience. And then I felt like I'm back. I'm inside of myself. My heart is not beating fast. There is no stress. So I want to say that you have the authority and you have the power to choose where you are going to put that importance. It is important, even if everyone will be telling you, oh my God, this is so important, this is so important, this is so important. It's up to you whether you're going to match the stress of everyone else, if you will make things so important that it will require and be worthy of you getting out of yourself. So I just want you to have this tool inside of you of agency and of choice and of control over what will be stressing you out to the extent that you will not live inside of you, that you will not be anchored inside of you. Every time you find yourself stressing about something, see if you can just have a moment to ask, is it that important? Is it worthy of all the stress that it's creating? And life is just stress all the time. There is something happens all the time. Even I went on vacation and I was, absolutely sure that this will be an absolutely stress-free experience, but it wasn't. I had a strong allergy. I had a doctor doing IV to me to remove the inflammation. It was not fun. So it seemed like, you book an amazing hotel and you're just going to have a nice experience. But no, life is full of stress. And then there is a storm and the tree falls and no electricity and there is monkey coming, So life will be stressing you out all the time. And if you will not be able to be in agency and have control over what you give your power to, you're going to be just like that flag on the wind, all over the place, just running around and stressing around. Create boundaries. Discern. You have the power to discern. You have the power to choose. Okay? So stress is something that I invite you to take the lead on and not let everything just happens. Whatever people say, whatever happens, immediately impact you. Don't let this happen. Don't let things immediately impact you. 90% of what immediately impacts you, changes your mood, changes how you feel, how grounded you are not important and they are not worthy of this reaction. So I hope you got this. And I hope the point of me like really putting emphasis on the stress part will stay with you for the rest of the year. And you will be reflecting on this. So the moment you wake up, you have to protect your system from anything that can stress you out immediately. This is the worst thing ever, to wake up and to find something that immediately stresses you and you're done. If you get out of your body right the moment you wake up, you're done. Most likely, until you will find yourself again in bed falling asleep, you will not recognize that you have been running around in stress all day. So that moment when you wake up, just take a few moments. Don't go there. Don't go. Just choose not to go there. Wherever your mind will be taking you, whatever you will be thinking about, don't go there. Look around. Look outside the window. Take a moment to see, how's the weather today? Is there sun? There is light or there is clouds? Is it raining or is it windy? How's the temperature? Feel yourself into the day. And I don't know, what is your ritual? Maybe you're drinking water, maybe you're drinking coffee, maybe you're drinking tea, or whatever you're doing. Just be with it. Ground, breathe. Okay, so that's starting the day in a way that will not take you out of the body. I cannot highlight it enough. If we can not afford starting our day without giving ourselves to all the stressors that will fall onto us, then we are not leaders in our life. We are just puppets. We have no control, no agency whatsoever. Okay. And I don't think that this is what you want to be. I think you want to be a conscious creator. You want to be a leader of yourself. You want to be a leader of your system. You want to be a leader in your life. And I want you to choose to take this position and not negotiate and not compromise. Okay. And your morning, when you just choose which stressor you're going to give your attention today, who will have a piece of you? Who will have your energy today? Choose it. Choose it wisely. Choose it consciously. Or maybe choose that none of the things will have you getting out of the body. It's just simply not worth it. Managing stress and being leader is the first thing. It's the most important thing. Second thing for your year is understanding how you will rule your focus and what you are intentionally will be fertilizing with your attention. You cannot imagine how much time we spend unintentionally. Somewhere in the daydreaming, somewhere in the worrying, somewhere in the past, feeding negative thinking with our attention. And what if we sit down and we choose what we will focus on? It is an act of self-leadership to consciously choose and decide which aspect of your life you will be feeding with your attention. And I cannot tell you and remind you enough that once you identify very clearly, if you want, you can write it down and put it in a mirror in your bathroom. And every time you brush your teeth in the morning and in the evening, it will be just there. The focus. Where is the focus? Those of you who want to find your soulmate, who want to find a relationship, an important relationship, Make it your focus and see what needs to happen for you to be successful in this endeavor. Maybe you need to take care of your health. Maybe you need to let go of other relationship and do some healing work on yourself. Maybe you need to go to places and invest your time in socializing and being around people. Maybe you need to take time to date people. It is important. I hear a lot when people are looking for their soulmate, they just tell me, I just know it will happen when it will happen. Well, sweet, but this is not a statement of a leader. When you give your power away, in a way, it will happen when it will happen. Okay, so then sit and wait for it. But if you choose and make it your focus, it's something that you will just wake up with and something you will fall asleep with. I am intending and focusing my energy and my intention on meeting a person with whom I will be co-creating my life, sharing love, and creating healing, long-lasting, intimate relationship. And if you will be waking up with this thought and falling asleep with this thought, and if every day this will be an important thing where you will be doing those steps you have to do to make it a 99.9% success. And of course, there's 0.1 always divine intervention. But you have to invest attention and time and not just say it will happen when it will happen. Okay? Your career. What do you want? Choose it. Choose what you want. And if you don't know what you want, don't do anything. It's better not to do anything until you know exactly where your energy will be focusing, gathering, and concentrating. So it's just always have to be somewhere on top of your mind. Your focus, the focus of your year. If you don't have a focus, things will be wobbly. Your attention will be wobbly. You will be doom scrolling. You will be just binge watching. You will be thinking about thousands of things. It will be a soup of information. Your energy will not have anything to anchor on. It will not have a place to go and create. We create with our energy. And our energy goes to places which we focus on. If you don't have a focus, if your mind is all over the place, imagine what you can create. More chaos, more confusion. So sit down whenever you can and make sure that you know for sure where you will be giving your focus, your energy, and your attention. You have to know that. And if at some point during the year this will change, then it will change. And find a way to remind yourself about that focus. Put it on the desktop of your computer or your phone. Put it on the mirror in your bathroom. Where are those touch points? Something on the bed table next to your place where you sleep. Something that will continuously reminding you, focus here, focus here, focus here. So choose the focus and aim there. Think about it. Invest your attention in it. Invest your focus in it. And I can promise you that you have never seen yourself accelerating in something so well. When you know where you want to focus your attention, your life will be moving in that direction. So whatever you need to do to get clarity on that, if you don't know your focus and intention, don't do anything and just work on figuring out what will be your focus for the year. Don't have another year aimless, pointless, chaotic, confused. Don't do this. Don't waste another 365 days of your life in not knowing or just repeating and just doing the same thing that you have been doing. Just choose wisely and choose consciously. Last thing, I would like to share with you that you have to create for yourself points of anchor, moments of reconnecting with yourself, because yourself is the source of energy. You don't generate energy when you are outside of yourself. So if in your week, or ideally in your day, you don't have those points, those moments of just self to self connection, it is very easy to lose the grip of the things and have everything just, take the place without your conscious attention and without your conscious choice. So I would like you to think which points of anchor you can create for yourself. What will be anchoring you and grounding you in yourself? There are very basic things, being in shower and just breathing and feeling the water washing over your body. It's that mindful cup of tea or coffee in the morning or during the day. It's the moment where you just switch off computers, phones, you sit down and you do nothing until you feel like you are here, until you feel your mind came back to you again, like you came back to yourself. The speed at which things unfold is really high. And we have to create for ourselves those touch points, those moments in our day or in our week when we are not doing something on autopilot automatically, when we just choose to stop and feel into our own being, feel into ourself. And it sounds extremely simple, but this is the very, very difficult thing to do, because we believe this is being with ourselves, being inside, is really the list of the important things. There are so many important things to do in this day. Of course, I'm not just going to be sitting and just feeling myself. For parts of us that are perfectionists, that are multitaskers, that control freaks, that workaholics, that just are always in this production, moving forward mode, it is the last thing that is important for them, how connected you are to yourself. For them, for those parts of you, results are, okay, more achievements, more boxes are ticked, more tasks are done. That's the threshold of success. But I'm speaking now to yourself. I'm speaking now to yourself to remind you again and again and again, and let you know that there is no point in doing anything whatsoever. All this running around and doing things, absolutely not important. If you are not inside of you, if there is no you in your life, if you're overtaken by managerial parts that believe that the most important is to do something in the world, I'm here to remind you that the most important is you, your connection to you, your feeling, your experience, your closeness with yourself. No matter how many projects you accomplish, whatever you're going to do, if you don't have that connection and ability to anchor yourself inside of yourself, you will be pure void. There will be no you in your life. There will be no anyone there. And sooner or later, that void will be so big that you will not be able to ignore it. I know that we live in a world where most of us, unfortunately, are in the void. And the more we are in this void, the more we are creating more and more things to do. Even if it's beautiful things, even if it's like writing a book, it's still a thing to do. You can write a book. You can accomplish everything. But when there is no you, when you have no idea where is you, it's meaningless, it's useless, and it will be creating even more void. So, my friends, what will be your anchor? Ask yourself how you will anchor yourself. What will be the anchor that will keep bringing you back inside during your year? I love, as an anchor, watching the fire. I'm fire element. I love watching fireplaces. I love watching candles burning. That helps me to focus my attention and be inside of me. I love to put my hands on my heart when I'm falling asleep and to spend the last few minutes before I fall asleep sensing and feeling myself and how I am there. I love taking a moment in absolute silence just to sit down, close my eyes, and just feel into the presence inside of me. These are short, free moments that we can offer to ourselves. This is like a ritual. This is our offering to ourselves. And I encourage you, don't forget about these rituals. If what helps you is to go to the temple, to go to the church, to go to the mosque, wherever you pray, go to those places, sit down and pray. But don't forget that if there is no you, it's a lost opportunity. If you lived a day without you, it's a lost day, truly. And my mission and my goal is to make sure that you will be protected from feeling this void. When you have ticked all the boxes, when you have achieved whatever you decided to achieve, and you will just sit down and don't understand why I'm not feeling anything. Where am I? I want you to protect from this experience. And so let's make 2025 a year of finding you a year of living from within, a year of our conscious, intentional way of choosing what will be the point of the stress, what will be taking ourselves out of the bodies, and what will not. Let's choose our focus. Let's know exactly what we want to continue keeping in our minds and moving towards. I would really love us to be anchored in a deeply conscious way with ourselves. And no matter how much we are going to achieve on the outside this year, our biggest achievement is how close we will be to ourselves, how honest we will be with ourselves, how much self-compassion we will have, how much self-understanding we will have. At the end, that is what really life is all about. Life is not about doing things. Life is about getting to know ourselves deeply and profoundly. I wish you to remember yourself every step you make, to stay anchored, to stay conscious, and to stay present at the top, at the best of your ability. And on my side, I will try to do my best to offer you content, experiences, group, online, in person, one-on-one, that will be supporting you to make it a conscious year, to make your life matter, to make your days matter, to make your energy be worth it. That's my promise. 2025, I'm very excited to start introducing you a little bit more on the modality that I am fascinated about. And I got certified at a level 1 of being IFS therapist, internal family systems therapist, or parts work therapist. This modality is blowing my mind. It is one of the most easy modalities that you can work with, and the one that yields profound and deep healing and transformations. Today, in the world of psychology, this modality is leading, and the amount of people that receiving transformations every day is surreal in the world. And I'm very, very honored to offer this experience and help you to start understanding your internal family, to start to understand how parts work can support you in true healing. So this year, I will be introducing you to this modality and sharing with you about your parts, about how they work, about how to understand them better. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to giving you much more interesting perspective on yourself that you probably have never even imagined. So I'm gonna have a lot of fun teaching you IFS this year through masterclasses, this podcast, and yeah, retreats and many other things. Guys, thank you for being here. Thank you for listening to this first episode of the year. And I deeply, deeply appreciate your presence in my life, whether you're my listener, subscribe to my newsletter, my student, whether it's just the first time you're introduced to my work. It's a real pleasure. And I hope I will make a tiny little difference in your life. Looking forward to continue this journey with you this year. Sending you all the love from Bali, and until soon. Much love. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Your Soul's Therapist podcast. I want you to know that I deeply appreciate your willingness to find healing for your soul and add to our collective sanity. If you feel like this podcast offered you something valuable, I invite you to circulate a goodwill back by rating the show and clicking the button follow. If you will share this episode with your friends and family, I will be beyond grateful. My investment of time and energy to create this authentic content is significant, and your input and support can make a huge, huge difference. And before you go, I want to remind you that each of our journeys are unique and truly complex. And my commitment is to look at your soul with clarity, to help you see what you might be blind to see, and gently guide you out of the places where you have been stuck. Whether you're drawn to my intuitive healing sessions or profound depth of counseling, I'm here, ready to accompany you on your path. Go to my website, vladadesousa.com, and choose the best way to work with me one-on-one. May you be blessed.